Okay, we're ready.
Hello, my name is Mr. Herbst, and I'm doing 7th grade English Language Arts. And today we're going to cover poetry. We're going to start it with haikus. Does anyone know what a haiku is, or have any idea on what they consist of?
It's Japanese.
It is Japanese.
It has a rhythm to it.
It does have a rhythm. Any others?
3 lines.
And there are 3 lines. Perfect. I'm going to put a traditional Japanese haiku up. It says, "On sweet plum blossoms, the sun rises suddenly. Look, a mountain path." What do you notice about it? Is there a special pattern of some sort in there that you see?
Every
Yes.
line goes forward.
Okay, that's a start. There's a pattern to those words.
It's 5 syllables, 7 syllables, and 5 syllables.
Exactly. Okay, what else do you notice?
It doesn't rhyme.
It does not rhyme. They don't have to rhyme. Some do, some don't.
And it's about nature.
It's outside.
It's about nature.
The expressions are different. Like there's a telling statement, and then there's, exclamation or excitement at the end.
Yes. We pull up another one. First snow, then silence. This $1,000 screen dies so beautifully. Do you notice anything about that one? How it's different from the past one?
This is sad. I'm kind of sad.
It is sad.
It is sad. There's more in nature because it's snowing.
Yes, that's what we want to point out. There is still a connection with nature, even though it's about a TV screen, not about the sun rising over cherry blossoms. So with the haikus, they don't have to be traditional haikus. They don't have to be about nature, and they can be funny. And which leads us to this. Volume's playing. Yes.
Blood is really warm. It's like drinking hot chocolate, but with more screaming. Everything I thought tasted a lot like chicken really tastes like man. I love my mama. I ate her with my mouth closed. How she would want it. My rigor mortis is mainly why I'm slower, and the severed foot. The taste of liver is hard to get off the tongue, but spleen does the trick.
We can't watch the rest of it. It gets kind of violent. those are all examples of haikus, and like I said, it doesn't exactly have to be about nature. However, it usually has a tie with nature of some sort. And so I'm going to, let's see, write this down for you all.
Great!
The other one didn't work. I had static for the snowing one. And on this worksheet, it tells you exactly how to write a haiku. And a little bit of history.
Thanks, sir.
You're welcome. And we're going to look at them. Does everyone know what a syllable is? And how to find her?
Clap your hands.
That's okay. Here you go. 7th grade. So, let's see, just for this one is a special one. What's we talked about the pattern, right? And what the pattern is on here? Yes.
I know like that one up there, it has the title like a zombie haiku, but the other ones don't have titles. Is that normal for haikus? Or
It can be. Like I said, they're normally Japanese, and they're set up a little bit differently. They usually just write the whole thing out all in Japanese. And the other thing about it is, this is just an approximation, because the traditional Japanese words have more syllables in them. An actual closer approximation would be 2 syllables, 3 syllables, 2 syllables. However, since English, it's kind of hard to have anything make sense in those few words, they usually expand it up to 575. One thing about this one, how many syllables are in that second line?
8. Oh, the second line.
Second line,
8.
yes.
Yeah.
8.
Yeah, 8.
Okay, there we go. That's what I was going to point out. You can be creative with the wording and the pronunciation. Some people, chocolate, right? It's the one that's throwing it off. Some people pronounce it chocolate. Some pronounce it chocolate. So when you write your own, you can be creative. You can put an apostrophe in there to take the place of it, or find an interesting way to write them out. Because what we're going to be doing after this is writing our own haikus. The haiku is a form of unrhymed poetry that originated in the 1600s in Japan. It's been written since then. It's kind of evolved quite a bit. There was mostly Japanese were the only ones that knew about haikus until about the early 1900s. A lot of Americans started writing them and expanding on them, evolving them, till we ended up with zombie haiku. It uses rhythm to make its point. And the first and third line each have 5 syllables, and the middle line has 7 syllables. Okay. All right. The object of a haiku is to capture a single moment in time, an object or a feeling, and present it to someone else exactly as you experienced it. These poems are very personal. They tell you something about yourself or about how you perceive the world. And we're going to use simple, direct language. Don't use abstract words. Does anyone know what an abstract word is? Yes.
Like something you can't touch.
Yes. Could you give an example? Can you think of any?
Like something you dream, like something really weird, like sci-fi maybe, like abstract.
It could be. Yes.
The word love?
Love. That's a perfect one. Did love mean the same thing to you when you were 5 years old as it does now? So it evolves. It's not really a solid thing that you can attach something to. And that's something that all these haikus use, are descriptive adjectives that that can be touched, that can be felt, that can be, don't have to be imagined. They contain something called a kigo, which is an image of nature that evokes a particular season. So if you want to look at this first one, on sweet plum blossoms, the sun suddenly rises. Look, a mountain